You know that feeling, right? That little voice inside. Maybe just a whisper, telling you there's something else you're supposed to be doing.
Oh, yeah, that little nudge. It's a really human thing, that search for purpose.
Totally.
Yeah,
And that's why we're diving into Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist today. It taps right into that feeling.
it really does. And the numbers are just incredible, aren't they?
Mind-blowing. Translated into, what, 68 languages?
Mm-hmm. A Guinness World Record for a living author.
Wow. And over 35 million copies sold in, like, 160 countries. It clearly hits home for a lot of different people.
Absolutely. It speaks to something universal, that quest for meaning, for finding your own way.
Okay, so let's get into the story itself. We start with Santiago, right? He's a shepherd in Spain.
Uh-huh. And he keeps having this dream.
This recurring dream, yeah, with that treasure hidden near the Egyptian pyramids. Now, I mean, most people might just brush that off, wouldn't they?
Probably. But Santiago, he
Yeah.
can't shake it. It feels important.
It's that persistence, like you said.
Yeah.
That inner nudge becomes a call to adventure almost.
Yeah. That's what the book calls the start of his personal legend. It's that unique path that's waiting for you, specifically for you.
So Santiago does something pretty radical. He sells his sheep, his whole flock.
Yeah, that's a huge step. He leaves the life he knows for something totally uncertain.
What do you think that represents, that initial jump?
I think it's about commitment, really committing. He's making space, letting go of the familiar to allow for something new. It's a big risk.
Right away, things get interesting. He meets people. First, this old woman, a dream interpreter.
Right. And she wants a cut, doesn't she?
Yeah, 1/10 of the treasure.
Mhm.
It feels a bit like a reality check straight off the bat.
Mm-hmm. Like the universe is saying, okay, you want this. It might cost something. It tests his resolve.
Then, almost right after, he meets Melchizedek, the king of Salem.
Ah, Melchizedek. Such a fascinating character. He seems to know, well, everything about Santiago. His life, the dream.
It's uncanny, and he gives Santiago that incredibly famous line. You know the one?
When you want something, the whole universe conspires to help you.
Exactly. It's such a powerful idea, this cosmic support system. But what do you really think that means? Is it literal magic, or...
Well, I think it's maybe less about magic and more about focus. Like, when you're truly committed, truly aiming for something, you start seeing things differently.
How so?
You notice the opportunities, the connections, maybe things you've missed before. Your energy is aligned, so you attract or at least recognize the things that can help you. It's like tuning into the right frequency.
Okay, I get that. But Melchizedek also wants something tangible, right? Not just a promise of future treasure.
Right. He asks for 1/10 of Santiago's sheep, the ones he still has, up front.
Santiago hesitates a bit, wants to offer a piece of the potential treasure.
But Melchizedek insists it's about putting skin in the game, isn't it? Making a real sacrifice now to show how serious he is.
It really underlines that commitment idea again.
Definitely. It proves, maybe to himself as much as anyone, that he's truly invested.
Melchizedek also gives him, those stones, Urim and Thummim.
Yeah, the black and white stones. For interpreting omens. Black for yes, white for no.
And tells him to watch for omens, to follow them. What's the deal with omens in the story? Are they literal signs from the universe?
I see them more as maybe heightened intuition, paying attention to coincidences, gut feelings, the subtle signals around you and inside you.
So not necessarily divine messages, but more like learning to read the flow of things.
Exactly. It's about trusting that inner sense and being more aware, more observant of the world.
But things take a really bad turn pretty quickly. He gets to Africa, Tangier, and boom, robbed.
Yeah, loses everything. It's devastating.
A total gut punch. Makes him doubt the whole quest, right? I mean, who wouldn't? Have you ever had a setback like that where you just wanted to pack it in?
Oh, absolutely. Those moments are tough. They really test you. But often they're actually part of the process. They
Yeah.
force you to dig deeper.
And that's sort of what happens. He's at rock bottom, remembers Melchizedek's advice about omens. But the stones are gone too, right? He lost them when he was robbed.
He did, which is crucial, I think,
Why?
because he can't rely on the external tool anymore. He has to develop his own ability to read the signs, to trust his own judgment. It forces him towards self-reliance.
That makes sense. And it seems to spark something in him. He changes his thinking.
Yes, he decides he's not a victim anymore. He's an adventurer, a treasure hunter.
That shift in mindset, it's powerful. Taking control of the narrative, even when things look bleak.
It's absolutely key. Choosing agency over despair. That's what keeps him moving forward.
So he needs money. He ends up working in a crystal shop for nearly a year.
Right. Not exactly the pyramids, is it?
Yeah.
It seems like a total detour.
Yeah, it feels very ordinary. After all the talk of destiny and treasure, what's the point of this long pause?
Well, it's where we learn some really practical things. Patience, the value of work, how the world operates on a day-to-day level, but also
Right.
he learns he can make a difference even there. His ideas, the display case, selling tea in the crystal glasses.
Oh, yeah. He actually helps the merchant's business a lot.
Exactly. It shows that even when you're seemingly off track from your main goal, you can still learn, grow, and contribute something valuable. Your unique way of seeing things matters.
But eventually, that dream, that personal legend, pulls him back.
The pull is too strong. He uses the money he saved and joins a caravan heading across the desert.
And that's where he reaches the oasis and meets Fatima,
Ah, Fatima. Love at first sight.
which adds a whole new complication, doesn't it? Now he's got this incredibly strong connection, this person he loves. How does that fit with his quest?
It introduces that tension. Personal ambition versus love and connection. Does he have to choose?
And the book suggests no.
Right. Fatima encourages him to go. She says true love doesn't hold you back from your destiny. It supports it. She'll wait.
That's a pretty evolved view of love. Trusting the journey, trusting him. He struggles with that initially, though, the idea of leaving her.
Naturally. But her perspective reinforces the book's theme. Trust the process. Don't try to possess or control. Love means freedom.
Then comes another big test in the oasis. The vision.
The vision of the attack. He sees hawks fighting, interprets it as an omen.
And he has to decide whether to trust this feeling, this vision, and warn the tribal chiefs. It's a huge gamble. They could kill him for raising a false alarm.
It really highlights trusting that inner voice, that intuition, even when the stakes are incredibly high. It's a major test of his faith in the omens and himself.
But he's right. The attack happens, they defend the oasis because of his warning, and he's hailed as a hero.
And that success leads him directly to the next key figure.
The alchemist, finally.
Yep. This mysterious, powerful figure who seems to understand Santiago's journey on an even deeper level.
And he echoes Melchizedek, doesn't he? About the universe conspiring.
He does. It reinforces that central theme. It's like Santiago needed different guides for different stages of the journey.
What do you make of that? Multiple guides?
I think it shows that wisdom comes in many forms. We learn different things from different people or experiences at the times we need them most. Each guide pushes Santiago forward in a specific way.
The alchemist teaches him different things too. Listening to his heart, understanding the language of the world.
Deeper stuff, more internal. Less about external signs, more about inner connection and understanding the interconnectedness of everything.
He even gets tested, finding life in the seemingly barren desert.
Right, developing that deeper perception.
Then comes the really dramatic part. They get captured, mistaken for spies.
And the alchemist makes this outrageous claim.
That Santiago can turn himself into the wind. And gives them 3 days to prove it, or they die.
Talk about pressure.
Seriously. And somehow, Santiago does it. He talks to the desert, the wind, the sun, connects with the soul of the world.
It's a very mystical, symbolic moment.
What does it symbolize, do you think, that transformation?
I think it represents reaching peak potential, transcending limitations. When you're fully aligned with your purpose, connected to that larger energy, maybe the impossible becomes possible. It's about realizing the power within.
After that, the alchemist performs actual alchemy, turns lead into gold,
The classic transformation.
and splits the gold into 4 pieces, each with a purpose. Feels very symbolic, too.
Absolutely. It mirrors Santiago's own internal transformation, turning the base metal of its ordinary life and experiences into the gold of wisdom and self-realization.
And the alchemist's last piece of advice is cryptic. The place where he weeps is where the treasure lies.
Sends him off to the pyramids with that thought. It suggests the treasure isn't just about riches, but maybe connected to deep emotion, to where you felt things most profoundly.
So Santiago finally reaches the pyramids. Big emotional moment. He starts digging where he thinks the treasure should be.
And finds saying nothing.
Nothing. Just sand. Then he gets attacked again by refugees.
Right. Beaten and robbed. Again.
But as they're leaving, he tells them about his dream. And one of the attackers scoffs. He says he had a similar recurring dream
About treasure buried in Spain.
at a ruined church under a sycamore tree. The exact place Santiago started his journey.
The irony. It's such a twist.
What's the meaning there? The treasure was back home all along.
I think it means the journey itself was necessary. He couldn't have found or appreciated the treasure without the experiences, the transformation. He had to go all the way to Egypt to realize where the treasure truly was. The journey gave him the eyes to see it.
So he goes back to Spain, digs under that sycamore tree.
And finds it, a chest of Spanish gold coins and jewels.
Wow. And he hears the alchemist's voice on the wind, reminding him about the journey itself.
The path, the learning, the growth. That was the real alchemy.
Okay, looking back at this whole incredible adventure, what are the main things Santiago did right? The sort of secrets to success that maybe, we can learn from?
Well, first and foremost, I'd say it's turning plans into action. That's huge.
Unlike other characters in the book, right? The baker, the crystal merchant.
Exactly. They have dreams, but they're held back by fear, by comfort, by inertia. Santiago acts. He becomes a shepherd to travel, he seeks out the dream interpreter, he sells his flock, he takes decisive steps even when scared.
That's a big one. We all know people, maybe ourselves sometimes, who talk a good game but don't take the leap. Action is key. What else?
Secondly, his keen sense of observation. He's constantly paying attention.
To the omens, you mean?
To the omens, yes, but also to people, to situations, to the lessons embedded in everyday life, like in the crystal shop. He's present, he's receptive. That allows him to learn and adapt constantly.
Being awake to the world around you. Okay. Now, the book is just packed with symbolism. We should probably touch on some key ones.
Definitely helps unlock deeper layers.
The religious allegory seems pretty strong. Santiago's name itself relates to a pilgrimage site. He's a shepherd.
Melchizedek is a biblical figure. Yeah, there are many parallels. It taps into those deep archetypal stories about faith and seeking.
And the wind. It keeps popping up, symbolizing freedom.
Freedom, change, the power of the unseen. He literally becomes the wind at one point, breaking free from physical limitations. It represents adaptability, too.
And of course, alchemy itself. The title. It's not just about metal.
No. The Alchemist explains there are different kinds. The real alchemy, the book suggests, is personal transformation, turning the lead of your mundane life, your challenges,
into the gold of self-knowledge, wisdom, finding your personal legend.
Precisely. It's a metaphor for that inner work, realizing your inherent worth and potential.
Finally, let's talk about love. It feels central, especially towards the end.
Very central. Love is presented as this incredibly powerful, unifying force.
Santiago's love for Fatima transcends their different backgrounds, their religions.
Right. It suggests that love can bridge any divide, that it connects us at a fundamental human level. Empathy, understanding.
And the book connects love directly to that soul of the world idea.
Love is almost like the fuel or the source of that positive, connective energy in the universe. It's what makes things possible, what enables those conspiracies in our favor. It's the driving force behind creation and miracles.
So wrapping up our deep dive here, Santiago's journey really shows us, doesn't it, the importance of acting on our dreams, paying attention, looking for deeper meaning.
And recognizing that love, that connection, is fundamental to it all. It's all part of discovering and living your own personal legend.
It encourages you to see the whole journey, the good, the bad, the detours, as essential.
Yeah, as the process that shapes you.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Consider the lead in your own life. The routines, the fears, the things that feel mundane or stuck. What gold might be waiting there? What could you discover if you really listened to your heart and embraced your own journey, challenges and all?
Definitely something to think about.